That's something that ties into the fact that this game is in early access, and kind of like there are. This is a major topic, and I'm just gonna try and touch a little bit about like how we kind of approach this. So the game is in early access. You probably know this, and there are pros and cons of having a game in early access, right? Pros are obviously that we can adapt a lot better to you guys' feedback, and you know what's going on in development wise. The cons are, however, that it's really hard to maintain the game in the current way it is. If we could, we would have loved to have like the same quality and like the same quality assurance rather on the game throughout the whole duration of early access. So it's like it's a final like. We wish we could have the same quality of like the final product during the whole duration of early access, but unfortunately, the way things are with development, is that that's impossible. And why do I bring this up? Well, it's because I saw someone pointing about multiplayer bugs. Like there are bugs in the game, okay? That's not everybody knows this, okay? And it may be frustrating for you guys to just like be like, why haven't you fixed this tiny bug that's been in the game since launch? Or why haven't you fixed this kind of major bug even? Bugs confirmed. We know there were bugs, okay? Let's not fucking dance around this, okay? The game isn't perfect, and that's unfortunately the kind of the way the cookie crumbles when you're doing an early access game. We try to make our releases as stable as possible, and we try to make it as less of a frustrating experience as we can when it comes to those sort of things. But it's a tricky balance, because we also have, an end goal for Satisfactory. We don't want to be working on this game for forever. We want to finish it at some point. We have ideas of like what the final product 1.0, if you will, of what the game is going to be like. And the fortunate situation is that if we were to continuously work on bugs and fixing those things, we would be pushing that release further and further back. So sometimes we kind of have to make the decision to like move on and focus on like improving what's coming next, rather than improving like the current version of the game, because the current version of the game isn't done. Okay, that's the main reason why I bring all this up. So it can be really frustrating for you guys, especially if you see us like, acknowledging that there are issues in the game that we aren't able to fix currently. Just know that this is kind of like the nature of early access, and this is just how it's going to be for a while, or it has been, since launch. And I really hope we don't come off as like that we're just ignoring, what's going on or issues that you guys are having. We really care. It's just that this is a tricky balance, and we have to move on at some point. I don't feel like we talked a lot about this for a while, because to me it kind of feels like the game is I mean we have released the game to some extent, right? So it feels like an obligation from our point of view to like try and make it, as what's the word, as accessible, I guess, maybe, to everyone as possible. But there are going to be occasions where, some people have like very specific issues with the game, that like we could fix, but we'd have to spend, an uncertain amount of time on that. And this is specifically related to multiplayer issues, because multiplayer issues are the hardest to track down what the issue are. Like when people are having connectivity issues and, there's nothing in the logs, there's nothing we can see on our end. It just makes it so that like the only way for us in certain cases, in certain issues, in order for us to like figure out what's going wrong, we would have to go to your computer and like go to your specific network setup and like all the people that you're connected to and like troubleshoot that. And that's just like so much effort. And that's not something we can always, we do that sometimes, but it's not something that we can always do, unfortunately. So sometimes we kind of just like have to move on and work on like what's coming next. and come back to those issues later. And I know that's frustrating to hear, but that be like it do. And if you are one of those people that like are kind of nervous about like what's coming next and if it breaks anything, just know that the game is DRM free, so you can always like save the game on your hard drive or whatever and just keep it, and then if Steam overrides it and you want to fall back, then you can do that. So yeah.